Let's go.
Hello
I'll
everyone,
tread
welcome
softly.
back to Gaming Hangar. Welcome
I
back to
hope I
another
won't be
review.
caught.
Today is about Partisans
Staying alert enough to have
1941,
my
a
shields
real
scout
time
me here instead.
tactics game very related to Commandos video game series from where we borrows many aspects and more recently Desperados 3 game. The action of Partisans 1941 took place somewhere in the Eastern Front behind Soviet enemy lines. In 1941, after
Follow me.
Hitler's attempt to conquer the Soviet Union with the Barbarossa Plan, the game starts with a immersive story divided in a lots of mission scenarios where you and your group of partisans will try to sabotage and disrupt the German war machine. The game starts gradually with a story from Captain Zorin, who escapes from a German war prison and managed somehow to gather a team of few comrades and establish a resistance camp away from the front line. From the Partisans camp, he can plan different types of guerrilla warfare against the occupying German troops. The storyline. The game has a nice and captivating story that will makes you stay and play and discover more and more the game itself. At some point, the game becomes almost addicting, especially if you are a fan of real-time tactics games.
Who else
This
came with
game
us?
has a linear storyline which lasts about 50 game days. In
Yes.
this period of time, it's up to you how to manage the guerrilla missions or the camp where the partisans are staying between those missions. The storyline reveals the determination and
Always
ambition of
ready.
a small group of patriots to fight alone against the occupying forces by any means just to defend their people and their country. I like this kind of approach, and this one is one of the most captivating aspects of this game. Gameplay. The real-time tactics concept from this game is not new. As I said, it is closely related with Commandos series and more recently launched Desperados 3 game. In this Partisan 1941 game, the same principles of killing by gunfight or stealth applies as in the other two games mentioned. However, there are also some new features added by the developers which brings this game to another level. You can plan your missions and the members of your partisan group who will participate on the mission. Each member of your group has some up to 3 unique abilities that can be unlocked via the detailed skill tree. The abilities can be unlocked by the experience points gained in the played missions, so you can choose which partisan fits tactical better before the start of each new scenario. Between the combats, your partisans are gathered in the partisan camp, a temporary living place far away from the front line. Here your resistance member can heal, eat and sleep. Also here the developers added some interesting features. These can be managed and upgraded during the game with new features like workshops where you can modify and craft your own combat weapons, or you can craft mines, grenades, and other items that can help you during your combat intrusions. A kitchen, a medical tent, or a hunting tower, or a food or a fishing spot and much more. This Partisans camp has its own management system and features that makes these games even more complex or more like a small game inside a bigger one. So you can assign your partisans to execute different domestic tasks when they are not on a combat mission. Game features. What is different from other games is the skill tree and unique
Calm
abilities
down.
that each partisan character has. This is more like RPG style concept added to an real-time tactics game, which makes this one very good game indeed. One partisan is better with the knife, for example, other better with the rifle, and some of them better with the stealth approach or sneaking behind enemy units. Each partisan member with his own sets of skill can balance the mission and can make it easier or more difficult for you to play it, so choose wisely. You can assign 3 members of your partisan group for each combat mission, so you can play the same mission with different partisans each time. This is great because you can try different tactics every time you replay the scenario. During a combat mission, You can scavenge enemy soldier for useful items like ammunition, weapons, and parts that will help you later in the game. These kind of things you can discover also in crate boxes that are around the map. It is better to try to discover the entire mission map because you won't know what type of useful parts you may find, and that will be very good in upgrading, for example, the Partisans camp. Each soldier kill will add more experience points to your playing characters, and those points are added equally to each character. These experience points will unlock new abilities in the character's skill tree. So it is important to try to run all your characters during your storyline to discover their unique abilities. In a partisan's camp, you can tune your weapons to be more efficient with the weapon parts collected from the missions, making them more powerful. You can use weapon parts to increase reloading speed, accuracy, critical hit chance, and weapon damage. Each weapon has one up to three available upgrade slots. Tactics. Tactics is the key role in this game and is closely related to the mission objectives. You can try the same mission with a different approach. You can try to use stealth, ambush, or direct assault. These are the base ones, but are not working all the time because the artificial intelligence or the AI is interesting smart, so he can learn your moves and you will suddenly facing a German death squad who is on your tracks or ambushes you and the game is over. So you need to play smart. What I have noticed in this game is that every decision counts, and that's in a good way because it will force you to think the best solution for each mission. If this is not enough challenging for you, even if the enemy will spot a dead body, for example, left unhidden, this can ruin your day because when the alarm will be sound, reinforcement will arrive and you will be outnumbered big time. Some missions will require to use stealth and avoid alarm to be triggered, and some soldiers are very suspicious even on the lowest sound heard, so it might be very challenging to finish them. Other missions are more combat focused, so you can try also to use the fire weapons against enemy soldiers. But pay attention that in this case it's very easy to be suddenly outnumbered by enemy soldiers because the shots fired will be heard all around the map and the enemy soldier will start to search for you all around. And you guessed what? That you can face all the troops and reinforcements after a few shots. In some missions, this can be very frustrating after I played more than half of the map because I killed a soldier with a rifle, for example, and after that, in a few seconds later, all the soldiers around the map started to search for me on the every goddamn spot. If you're asking me, I'm more a stealth type of player, so I tried almost every mission with a stealth approach, just to avoid to be involved in unnecessary fire shooting. Being stealth is more healthy for your partisans, but be careful to kill and hide all the dead bodies in the areas where the enemy soldiers I won't see, or else they can be suspicious and will start looking around for you. And believe me, they were looking around all the map. Believe me, if they are tuned into suspicion mode and you will start to search for you, they will find you and the game is over. Bugs, glitches, and faults. Like any other games, Partisans 1941 has its own faults, and some of them are very annoying. I will try to make a list here with the most irritating bugs that I found. Opening doors by the player. This it seems to be annoying in some missions because even if the door is open, your path to the other side is blocked by some, let's say, invisible wall, or in some cases the door slaps back in your face and you cannot proceed further. If you try to open the door again, it will close back. So you simply just need to find an alternative route just to avoid that charmed door to be closed again. Overlapping icons. Well, this happens very often when you put dead bodies in the same place. All the inventory icons will start to overlay and you cannot choose one or another. This may happen also when you drop a dead body near a shelf or a box inside a building. After you may not access the content of the box because the icons from the dead body will overlay on it.
Bam!
Click moving inside a building. Another bug that seems to be present in many cases in some missions.
Shouldn't have
If
messed
you're
up.
outside the building and you click somewhere inside in the building to enter, the character will not react, or if you click in one of the corners inside the building, the character will not go there. He will stop a few steps from the point you had clicked. This comes harder when you try to hide from an enemy side because in this case almost all the time you will get spotted. Blocked paths. This one is ridiculous. It happened to me many times. For example, if you want to send your partisans somewhere on the map, they will start to head there, but suddenly if their path is blocked by some kind of object, it will stop from their action. If they are inside the building and you click outside the building, the partisan will choose the shortest way. And if it is a wall between their path and the point you clicked outside, they will be stuck in front of that wall forever. So you need to choose manually the waypoints if you want to succeed. This can be very frustrating when you try to lose the enemies and hide yourself as fast as you can.
Gonna raise my
Simply
volley.
you will be forced to reload the last save. That's why I save after each action. The weapon aiming system. This is as fun as is annoying.
Pick me
How the
green.
hell a
Tag.
partisan can miss a shot from 2 or 3 meters in front of an enemy? Not just one, maybe two, or even three in a row. If you choose one partisan and you decide to use the rifle to kill an enemy soldier from a few meters, it will be quite a challenge, because he can miss all the shots in a row. Interesting fact is
Paid
that
for this.
this applies only to the player
I'm on
characters.
it.
The
Fire.
AI soldiers are more trained and they won't miss by any chance. Weapon reloading system. Oh yes, this one can take ages, and I mean especially if you are in the middle of a combat and you need to reload this machine gun. It took more than 6 seconds to reload it and 4, 5 or 5 seconds to reload the normal rifle. This is faulty and needs to be solved with an update. Even the reload time between rifle shots is higher than normal, almost 4 seconds. Really? Questions and answers. After this review, many questions will rise in your minds. Should I buy this game? Yes, my answer is definitely worth buying even with those irritating bugs, but the storyline and the atmosphere
Death to
and the
fascists.
feeling that the gameplay
That's the
gives you
last
is
one.
worth buying the
Down.
game. I hope the developers will make an update to fix those annoying bugs and glitches, and this will make the game more enjoyable. Is this game Partisans 1941 better than Commandos or Desperados 3? Well, it has its own storyline and I think it's interesting to be played, and you can decide that after you finish all the missions. The gameplay feeling is something different from the other two, but I cannot
I'm
say
on
it
it.
is
Raise my
better.
volley.
Is Partisan 1941 an open world
That's
game
one down.
or storyline driven? No, it's not an open world game, it's a storyline driven. What happens when a partisan dies? The mission is over. If a partisan dies
Stop.
during a combat, this will not be the end of your mission. He can be taken and carried by other partisans. After you win the scenario, if you can, the wounded partisan will be automatically being
Keep
present
alive.
in the partisan's camp, where you can revive and heal him in the medical tent. What stuff you can possibly find scavenging dead bodies? Mostly ammunition and different workshop parts who can be used in the partisans camp to
Footsteps.
craft items. Sometimes you may find also weapons.
Probably
Partisan
safe.
1941 has a fast forward
Right here.
time system like in Desperados 3. No, this game has not this kind of option. Conclusion. Many of us will tend to compare Partisans 1941 with Commandos series and desperados series, but this game brings something new in terms of gameplay. This is quite interesting how the role of Partisans camp is playing in the game with its own management system. I think these features bring Partisan 1941 in front of the other two and makes it more enjoyable by this date. Even if it's a storyline driven, it will make you feel like a part of the action, and every decision you make can count on the mission's success. The way you can plan the mission from the Partisans camps, the weapons to be used makes this game worth to be played again and again, because each time you can play the same mission in a different way, with a different plan. That's why I think this game is one of the top real-time tactics game of this year, and do not forget that has a lot of improvement potential. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you liked, please subscribe to my channel to support me. Till the next time, I wish you all the best. Gaming Hanger out.
I feel like I'm on a recon mission. Fire!